Welcome to Reddit-Ender-Bender. We give Reddit stories their deserving endings because we hate being left hanging. Story 1. Hi all. I'm so lost and not sure if I'm overreacting or not. I've been with my boyfriend for over 5 years and I, female 35, just found out my boyfriend, male 36, slept with his stepsister many times years ago. We're all on a family trip together right now. His mom, dad, stepbrother, stepsister, and a bunch of his other relatives. And this is the second time I'm meeting his stepsister. He was absolutely wasted last night, and I was telling him how much I like his stepsister. He continued by telling me I should dress like her, which I thought was a little strange. Then I said, "Sounds like you have a thing for your sister." And he came out and told me over 15 years ago. Him and her slept together many times. He kept mentioning it last night, almost as if he was proud of what he did, and it was a bit repulsive to me. Apparently, no one knows in his family, and only his best friend knows about what happened. Now I honestly can barely look at him. I feel so beyond disgusted and am second-guessing our entire relationship. We have 3 more days on this family vacation, and I want to book an earlier flight and go home. I'm also an only child, so not sure how abnormal any of this is, but I feel shallow for judging him this negatively about the situation. I would love some insight from others. I'm so torn and feel like the trip's been ruined. Ending 1. The Secret Society Reveal. In a twist that borders on the absurd, I decide to confront my boyfriend about his past behavior in a more public setting, hoping to understand his perspective better. As I gather the courage to discuss the matter, the family trip takes an unexpected turn. My boyfriend, perhaps in a bid to preempt my concerns, gathers the family and reveals a shocking truth. Their family is part of an ancient secret society where such relationships are not only accepted, but celebrated as part of a long-standing tradition. My boyfriend's drunken boasts were actually his awkward way of introducing me to this hidden aspect of his life, believing I might understand or even appreciate the complexity of his family's customs. Faced with the surreal reality of cult-like family traditions, I'm forced to reassess not just my relationship, but my entire worldview. While I grapple with the revelation, the family warmly extends an invitation for me to join their ranks. In the aftermath of the shocking revelation about the family's secret society and its unusual customs, I find myself standing at a crossroads, deeply conflicted about the future of my relationship and my place within this unconventional family dynamic. The initial shock gradually gives way to a period of intense reflection, where I weigh the love and history I share with my boyfriend against the profound ethical and moral differences that have now come to light. Despite the family's warm invitation to embrace their traditions and the possibility of finding a new sense of belonging, I realize that the values and practices of the secret society are irreconcilable with my own principles and the life I envision for myself. The realization brings a painful clarity, and with a heavy heart, I decide that the only course of action that aligns with my integrity is to leave. The conversation with my boyfriend is emotional and fraught, with a sense of loss for what might have been. I express my love for him, but also my need to live a life that aligns with my values. He is devastated but understands, and there's a mutual recognition of the insurmountable differences that now lie between us. As I leave the family gathering and the relationship behind, I feel a mix of sorrow for the loss of the person I loved and a profound sense of relief for having stayed true to myself. The decision to walk away from a situation that fundamentally conflicts with my beliefs is difficult, but it also marks the beginning of a new chapter in my life, one rooted in self-respect and authenticity. Ending 2. The dramatic split. Feeling repulsed and betrayed, I decide to act on my initial instinct and book an earlier flight home. Before leaving, I confront my boyfriend, expressing how his past actions and his pride in them have irreparably damaged my trust and respect for him. The conversation escalates quickly, with tempers flaring on both sides. In a dramatic outburst, I reveal the secret to his family, causing a cataclysmic rift not only between us, but within the family itself. The fallout is immediate and devastating, with his family members choosing sides in a bitter division. My boyfriend, now an ex, is left to reckon with the consequences of his actions, both past and present. As I board my flight, I feel a mix of relief and sorrow, knowing that while I've escaped a situation that was untenable, the path to healing from this betrayal will be long and arduous. Ending 3. The alien intervention. As if the situation wasn't bizarre enough, the final night of the family trip is interrupted by an unexpected visitor, a benevolent alien being who has been observing Earth's customs to understand human relationships. Moved by my distress, the alien decides to intervene, offering me a chance to erase my memory of the revelation or even alter my boyfriend's past actions. After a moment of temptation, I decline the offer, realizing that the strength of human emotion and the complexity of relationships are what make them meaningful, even when they're fraught with pain. Instead, the alien, fascinated by the depth of human emotional resilience, decides to address the root of the problem. It telepathically influences my boyfriend, making him deeply empathize with my feelings of betrayal and disgust. He wakes up the next morning with a profound sense of remorse and a commitment to make amends, offering me a heartfelt apology and a promise to seek counseling. While skeptical, I'm touched by this sudden change and decide to give him one last chance, with the understanding that trust must be rebuilt from the ground up. The alien, satisfied with its intervention, departs, leaving us on the tentative road to recovery under the watchful eyes of his family, who are bewildered by the sudden shift in dynamics. Which ending did you like best? Please let me know. Story 2. My husband, male 30, told me to lose weight, so I, female 24, did. But now I'm too flat-chested. That's literally it. We've been married 2 years. For our whole relationship, I weighed anywhere between 115 to 130 pounds, and I'm 5'4". In the last month or so, I gained probably 5 pounds. It was the heaviest I've been at, 135. My husband was a bit of an asshole about it and nicely suggested that I go to the gym more. I'm not gonna lie, it made me cry in the shower, LOL. He's also never ever mentioned my weight before, but I did it anyway and I'm back to 112. However, yesterday, during sex no less, my husband told me that losing weight made me lose my boobs. I didn't say anything, just covered up. I literally can't please this man. What do I do? I genuinely considered getting implants, but then he said no. He's never been like this before. Why is he so suddenly interested in my weight? Am I already entering a dead bedroom? I've literally been married 2 years. How do I stop that from happening? Ending 1. The entrepreneurial twist. Fed up with my husband's impossible standards, I decide to channel my frustration into creativity. I start a blog to share my journey, discussing body positivity, self-love, and the ridiculousness of trying to meet others' expectations. To my surprise, the blog goes viral. I begin to receive messages from women all over the world sharing their own stories and thanking me for my honesty. Capitalizing on this momentum, I launch a line of inclusive fitness wear that emphasizes comfort and self-expression over societal standards. My husband, initially bewildered by my sudden entrepreneurial spirit, starts to see me in a new light. He begins to understand the impact of his words and works to support my newfound passion. Together, we navigate a path toward a more supportive and understanding relationship, all while I become a beacon of empowerment for others. Ending 2. The magical mishap. In an attempt to solve my dilemma, I visit a quirky old shop I've never noticed before, seeking a potion to restore my chest size without gaining weight elsewhere. The eccentric shopkeeper hands me a mysterious bottle with instructions to drink it under the full moon. Desperate for a quick fix, I follow the directions to the letter. The next morning, I wake up to find that not only has my chest size increased, but I've also gained the ability to read minds. Initially overwhelmed, I soon discover my husband's thoughts are filled with insecurities about his own appearance and fears of losing me. This revelation leads to heartfelt conversations where we both open up about our insecurities and vow to support each other unconditionally. But it turns out the potion's effects are temporary, but the understanding and love we gained are permanent. Ending 3, the unlikely hero. Feeling at a loss, I confide in my grumpy old neighbor, Mr. Jenkins, who surprisingly turns out to be a retired couples therapist. Mr. Jenkins, moved by my story, decides to come out of retirement for one last job. He invites us over for a friendly dinner, but it turns into an impromptu therapy session. Through a series of bizarre yet insightful exercises involving everything from baking a pie without a recipe to an impromptu dance-off, Mr. Jenkins helps us see the absurdity of focusing on physical appearances. We learn to laugh at ourselves and rediscover the deeper reasons we fell in love in the first place. We end up renewing our vows in Mr. Jenkins' quirky backyard, surrounded by an odd assortment of neighbors and a newfound appreciation for what truly matters in our relationship. Which ending did you like best? Please let me know. Story 3. My female 23 boyfriend, male 32, told me I looked like a sock. We've been together for 1 month, so it's very new. He is respectful, affectionate, super funny, kind. And for the first time in my entire life, I thought I found the one. I have to admit that my self-confidence is not always 100%, and he's sometimes clumsy with his word. We went to the bakery last time and he told me a girl like her wouldn't be interested in a guy like me. He was talking about the cashier. I thought that was a weird thing to say, but I didn't say anything at that moment. This weekend, we were scrolling on a lingerie website because he wanted me to buy a lingerie set, and he kept saying, "Whoa, they're super hot," or "OMG sex bomb," and I felt super uncomfortable. Like, yes, they are beautiful and they're models, but please can you just not say it out loud every single time? Yesterday, I decided I was going to talk to him and ask him to stop saying out loud what he thought about all the women he meets because it makes me feel bad about myself. I asked him, "What does a girl like her wouldn't be interested in a guy like you mean?" And he said, "Well, pretty girls wouldn't be into me." And I said, "So you don't think I'm pretty then because I'm into you?" And that's when he said it. "Compared to other girls, well, you look like a sock." I cried so much and my heart broke. I couldn't believe he said something like that. I sent him a text saying I wasn't sure I'd be able to pursue the relationship with him because of what he said, and he cried and told me he was sorry 1,000,000 times. I told him I needed space and I'll let him know in a couple of days. I know there are so many women that are so much prettier than me, and I know he's allowed to think that other women are beautiful as well. But I feel so sad because I'm in love with him and his words really crushed me, and I'm not sure I'll be able to forgive him or forget what he said. Today, my self-confidence is at 0%. I keep reminding myself I'm ugly whenever I see a woman walk past me, or that I'm just not good enough for him. Is there any hope for our relationship to survive this? I don't want to break things up over a silly misunderstanding or just because he's a guy and he didn't mean what he said. It's very hard for me to know what my next step should be. Thank you. Okay, before we get into the endings, it's clear that she should dump him. Get as far away from this man as she can. Ending 1. The Secret Agent Twist. Days passed in silence until he showed up at my door, looking more serious than ever. "I have something to tell you, something I've been hiding," he began. And what followed was the most bizarre confession I'd ever heard. He was, in fact, an undercover secret agent, and his odd comments and behavior were all part of his cover identity. The sock comment? A prearranged signal to his handlers that he was in over his head. He explained that his mission was nearing its end, and he had fallen genuinely in love with me amidst the chaos. He asked for forgiveness and a chance to start over, this time as his true self. Though it sounded like a plot from a spy movie, the sincerity in his eyes was undeniable. After ensuring it wasn't a delusion or a prank, I decided to give us another shot, intrigued by the mystery of his true identity and touched by his vulnerability. Our relationship took a new turn, filled with genuine understanding and the excitement of his intriguing world. Ending 2, the cosmic mix-up. In a twist straight out of a science fiction novel, he revealed the truth behind his strange behavior and hurtful comment. He was actually an alien, sent to Earth to study human emotions and relationships, and his comment was an attempt to mimic human insecurities, albeit poorly executed. His species did not experience attractiveness in the same way humans do, and he was trying to understand the concept of self-worth based on physical appearance. Realizing the depth of hurt his misunderstanding had caused, he offered to show me the galaxy to prove that beauty and love are universal concepts that transcend physical form. After a breathtaking journey through the stars, where I saw wonders beyond imagination and experienced the vastness of the universe, my perspective on beauty and self-worth was forever changed. We returned to Earth, where we worked together to bridge the understanding between our worlds, starting with our own unique relationship. Ending 3, the time traveler's regret. He sat me down and, with a heavy heart, confessed that he was a time traveler from the future. The bizarre comments and his inexplicable behavior were due to the fact that in his time, social norms and the concept of beauty had evolved drastically. He was struggling to adapt to our present-day standards. His sock comment was a failed attempt at using a term of endearment from his time, which, unfortunately, did not translate well. Ashamed and regretful, he offered me the chance to travel with him to the future, to see the progress humanity had made and how concepts of beauty and love had evolved. Torn between the pain he caused and the promise of a better understanding of love and self-acceptance in the future, I decided to take the leap. Together, we journeyed forward in time, where I learned to see myself and our relationship through a new, more forgiving lens, embracing the beauty within me and the love we shared, transcending time itself. Which ending did you like best? Please let me know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because you won't want to miss a single captivating story. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.